So up until this point, we know that the colonists and the British, they've been struggling. They've had some struggles. So the last thing we talked about were those coercive acts where they closed the Boston Harbor, and that was in 1774. So by spring of 1775, there was just a lot of tension. And so we had patriots and we had loyalists. Loyalists were colonists who were still loyal to Great Britain. They thought that Great Britain was doing a good job. They wanted the soldiers to stay. They wanted to remain under British control. Patriots were colonists who wanted to be their own country. They wanted to separate from Great Britain. So some of these patriots had started preparing during the winter, and they were gathering weapons and cannonballs and gunpowder. They were kind of stockpiling in case things came to blow. Well, some of these British soldiers found out about it, and they told their commanding officer, Officer Gage. So Officer Gage, his name was Thomas Gage, or General Gage. So General Gage, finds out that these colonists have a stockpile, and he's not okay with it. So on the night of April 18th, 1775, and this is on your PLP lesson, he sent 700 British soldiers to Concord. So he sent them to where the stockpile was. Well, the Patriots found out Gage's plan, and they tried to work against him to stop the Redcoats, the British soldiers. So they sent 3 people out into the countryside to tell people: William Dawes, Samuel Prescott, and Paul Revere. You might have heard of Paul Revere and his famous midnight ride. So Revere had somebody spy on the British Army, and he went and told everybody. He would say, the Redcoats are coming, the Redcoats are coming. So they were able to figure out, and they were able to get their things moved. So the stockpile wasn't there. But there was some tension. That they did meet. So it happened on April 19th. Some Patriots and Redcoats clashed, and 8 Patriots died and 10 were wounded. And that was a battle at Lexington, not Lexington, Kentucky. That was the Battle of Lexington. Then they went to Concord. The Redcoats kept going. But by that point, when the British got there, they found that most of that stockpile had been removed. The Patriots had been able to get it out. So people from all over, the Patriots, they lined the roads, they hid in trees and rocks, and they attacked the Redcoats all the way back to Boston. They ended up killing or hurting over 250 Redcoats. So that was kind of the start of the Revolution, your battles at Lexington and Concord. Then you'll read on about Bunker Hill and a couple other battles, but that was really the start of the Revolutionary War, the battles of Lexington and the battles of Concord. And then you'll see that George Washington, our first president, General George Washington, he was put in charge of part of the Continental Army that was fighting against the British, and you'll read about some of the struggles and success